Hello and welcome. You are joining me here at the Goa School on the Kadamba Plateau where I.I.M.U.N is holding their Goa chapter. Students from their ripe young age, from 5th standard right up till 12th, are participating in international and geopolitical issues. Whether it is wartime issues or economics or whether it is even FIFA committees, these students are debating the world's issues. Let's take a look at what exactly is the scene inside the classrooms here. Well, I.I.M.U.N is an initiative to bring out the youth onto the world platform. It's to show students that geopolitics, war issues, or various committees that are established in the United Nations are not out of reach. These students will be our leaders tomorrow, and these sort of events really help bring out the real talent amongst these students. Not just academics, but real world life issues.
Good evening and welcome to the I.I.M.U.N Goa Conference 2025. How's the Josh? I cannot hear you all. How's the Josh? One more time please. How's the Josh? Okay, that's great. I love the energy. From implementing our own refined resolutions to initiatives such as My First Vote, 1 Week for One World, or Period of Pride, it is young people who rationalize these actionable goals to comprehend, congregate, and create a better society. It no more remains a more united nation, but rather a movement to unite nations, the Indian way. Proud to say that a home in Goa is none other than the Goa School. Now, I would like to invite upon the stage Mr. Carol Paul Joseph, the principal of the Goa School, to address this gathering.
Students, parents, teachers, and I'm told there are fellow principals here as well. A very warm welcome to all of you and those of the I.I.M.U.N organization here for the next 3 days. The state that you come from or the country you come from. I'm assuming that not everyone here is Indian. There will be some whose nationality is not Indian. And wherever you are, you will face issues of iniquity, of inequality, of immigration, of unrest, religious conflict, different kinds of conflict. And we say catch them young. It's a good time for you to dwell on those issues because really it will rest on you to sort out those issues. All other opportunities that you get to develop yourself and to develop all that you need to take on responsibilities in the future, then history will be the beautiful sum of human potential developed to its great maximum possibility. And once again, on behalf of the Goa School, its management, staff, and students, and on my own behalf, I wish all of you a very happy and productive 3 days. I mean, I know you've just got an opening ceremony today and a registration, but I still hope that that this start is a good start for you, and right up till the end of the social on Sunday, you have a marvelous time.
Okay, I see a few faces, a few familiar faces. So, of course, before I go on, something that I must mention, like I have a speech here with me, but I'm not going to refer to it. I'll tell you a quick anecdote and that's it. You won't have to hear much from me because you have a huge line of guests, people who have achieved far more than me, who will enjoy hearing from. See, because you and I, we think that, no, we call our parents out. We call our parents out at every stage. You are influenced by WhatsApp University, aap sirf WhatsApp forward sunte ho. You and I are equally influenced. You and I just don't pay that much attention to WhatsApp and Facebook. We are that influenced by Instagram. Every single reel that shows up changes our opinion. Every single thing that we see makes us change our principles. So what I want to tell you, yes, this country might not be perfect. Trust me, there are so many mistakes, there are so many errors. But I don't want you to forget that while you want to go abroad and study in a Harvard, you are in the land that gave birth to Nalanda. While many of you want to go abroad, while many of you might want to criticize the water scarcity in Chennai, if you ever visit Chennai, the abundance of love will never reduce. While many of you will criticize the traffic in Bangalore, I don't think we can forget the number of engineers that place has produced. While we'll criticize Bombay's potholes, I don't think we can ever surpass the talent that that city possesses. While we'll criticize Delhi's pollution, I don't think we can forget the democracy that city runs. So what I want you to do is, while you're looking at improving what's wrong, always keep in mind what this country has to offer for you. While you go abroad, remember to give back to this country, because it's your and mine. And so also remember, over the next 3 days, while you'll forgive us for our mistakes, while you're in your committees, don't be arrogant. I know there are a lot of experienced runners. There's a whole committee where there are just experienced people. Don't be arrogant and just keep an open mind to learn something from everyone. An arrogant delegate of USA can teach you much. A kid who has not spoken anything but is silently sitting and observing can teach you much. All I want to tell you is thank you so much for choosing the pen over the sword. Thank you so much for being the architect of change. And thank you so much for believing in youth. As young people yourself, you and I are the future. Thank you for being here. Thank you and Jai Hind.
So, good afternoon once again. And it is a deep honor to welcome the dynamic and multifaceted actress to today's session. Please join me in giving a warm and enthusiastic welcome to the truly multifaceted Sameera Reddy ma'am. And not causing any delay, I guess I would start with the very first question. So, you have lived the Bollywood dream. You have been in movies, you have acted in almost like more than 5 languages, and now you call Goa home, as we call I.I.M.U.N home. So I would just like to know, how do you feel that Goa's creative energy today influences the Indian cinema, and how Goa has actually, been incorporated in almost all the movies, because Goa have always been that energetic place that, once act in their movies and films. So how do you think? That is my very first question.
First of all, I don't think I gave Goa a chance before, because I only saw what all of you saw. When I came here as a tourist, saw the beaches. I actually shot 3 films here. I shot this film, Musafir, here, and I started my career with that film. And I always saw Goa in a certain light. But I was wrong. Because Goa, as Gaurav said, has an energy which is unmatched. It has the vibrance of a big city, but it has slow living and cultural heritage. And the best food you can eat. Trust me, I've tried to lose weight here and I just can't. It has great schools now. And the best feeling is the fact that you can be crazy, creative and productive here, because you're not caught up with the hectic and the expectations of a big city. And sometimes, in the slowness, you find your way. And coming from Bollywood and the big city and everything that I've achieved, I actually am the most productive at this age in this city than I've ever been in Mumbai, or in a higher space, as they call it, of, just having access to a lot more things, it seems. But Goa has more than that for me, for sure.
I guess that was the most appropriate answer I would get to a question. And also building on to what I said in your intro, that you have worked in almost 5 languages, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam and Hindi. So how do you feel, and what does this tells about the cultural diversity that we as in India have, and how do you feel that cultural diversity unites the Indian cinema as a soft power?
So interestingly, when I wanted to get into cinema, now, how many of you all think that Bollywood is the #1 cinema in India? Truly, tell me. See all those hands coming up. All right. And mostly, are you all like Hindi speaking? No, and you all still feel that. What? Okay. So this is what happened to me. When I got into cinema, first I got into the whole thing of, I have to make it really big in Bollywood, otherwise I'm nobody. That's the stress when you're young. But I realized Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Bengali, Kannada, Punjabi, these are films that actually, it's unbelievable that South Indian films, some of the films I've done, I've gone to locations abroad and shot, which Hindi films hadn't even gotten to. There were action sequences in films that I did with technology that Hindi films didn't even know about. So somewhere I wanted to celebrate that. And being South Indian, I really wanted to be known on every corner, on every front. And the most beautiful thing is that the amount I learned from those cultures, from those languages, from the nuances as an actor of how the body language changed or how the words were spoken differently, it made me realize how proud I was to be Indian and how I am proud to be Indian, because the variety and the diversity has to be celebrated by cinema from top to bottom to every corner. So that was the intention. And even today when someone comes up to me and says, you know, ma'am, I love your film, I'm like, okay, but from where? They have to come and say Varnam I.I.M.U.N, or they have to come and say Kal Purush from Bengali. So it's very interesting to have that outlook. You have to go beyond what people tell you to go. And that's what I learned from doing films in different languages. Everybody told me, no, if you make it in Bollywood, you're like top.
While most people only see the uniform, he's someone who goes beyond promoting wellness, mental health, and integrity within the force. Under his leadership, Goa has seen strengthened safety measures, especially for tourists and coastal areas, and a visible push towards citizen-friendly governance. Can we have a huge round of applause for none other than Shri Alok Kumar, Director General of Goa Police.
Let me begin by congratulating India's international movement to United Nations for organizing yet another powerful and purpose-driven conference. Since its inception in 2011, I.I.M.U.N has grown into a powerful movement globally, reaching over 220 cities across India and engaging with young minds in 35 countries. The scale is indeed impressive, but what stands out more is the purpose behind it: to cultivate a generation of globally aware, locally rooted, and socially responsible leaders. Though the Goa conference is a testament to that mission, it is an exercise in leadership, critical thinking, and collaboration. From the perspective of police organizations, we see the pressing need for such thoughtful, engaged young minds. Policing today is no longer just about enforcing laws. The modern landscape presents us with multifaceted challenges, ranging from the rise of cybercrime and digital fraud to drug abuse, gender-based violence, radicalization through misinformation, and mental health crisis. We are witnessing how rapidly evolving technology, social pressures, and global unrest interact to produce complex threats. Addressing these challenges require collaboration not only across borders, but also across sectors, including youth, civil society, and institutions like this.
historical links to supporting sustainable cooperation, someone who continues to build bridges that go beyond borders. Please welcome, as we are joined by the incredible Miss Maria Isabel Raimundo.
As a representative of Portugal, I am deeply concerned by the long-standing and unique ties between Portugal and India, especially with Goa. Our shared history spans centuries, from Vasco da Gama's arrival in 1498 to the end of Portuguese rule in 1961, and the restoration of diplomatic ties in 1974. Today, this relationship is enriched by a shared cultural heritage reflected in Goa's language, way of life, architecture, cuisine, music, and others. Today, the ties between Portugal and India are defined not by the past, but by shared goals. We collaborate in trade, education, culture, science and technology, and we work together in multilateral forums like the United Nations and the EU-India Partnership.
Led crucial naval air bases and headed the Eastern Fleet's aviation wing. He has served as the defense attaché in Japan and South Korea, strengthening India's strategic partnerships. Most notably, he was the commandant of the Indian Naval Academy, where he mentored thousands of cadets and transformed naval training. It's an honor and a privilege to welcome AVSM VSM Vice Admiral Puneet Bahal.
So the young leaders, you are not just inheritors of our legacy. I firmly believe that you are creators of a destiny. The future belongs to those, they say, who prepare for it today. And here I would like to quote our Honorable Prime Minister, because he said, the youth of India is not only the future of the nation, but the very engine for transformation. Mark these words. Let me elucidate with a very relevant example. And I will ask you to solve this riddle for me. A young boy from Rameshwaram in Tamil Nadu, right? He used to sell newspapers to support his family. He had very little money, but what did he have? Dreams aplenty. Well, he dreamt of launching satellites from his home soil. Can you name the person? Very nice. That boy grew up to be Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, one of India's greatest scientists and presidents. Well, he famously said, dream is not which you see while sleeping. It is something that does not allow you to sleep. You see the implication here.
Joining us now is someone who's put Goa firmly on the tech map, a global tech ambassador. Let's give a big round of applause to the inspiring Prajot Mankar. Firstly, I would like to thank your presence at the conference. I am very glad that I get to moderate this session with you. And I'm very happy to have you here once again. Starting now, I would like to ask you a few questions about your journey till here. And I would love whatever answers you give very honestly, because I look up to you very, very much. Starting firstly, you started off as an Android enthusiast and then boom, SoFueled was born in 2013. What was that turning point when passion became purpose and purpose became a company?
Sure, thank you. Lovely being here. Thanks for moderating this panel. Before answering that, I just want to know, show of hands, how many of you started using the phone before 2013? How many are born in 2013? And all of you use phones? iPhones? How many of you all use iPhones here? Quite a rich audience, huh? What about the Android flavors? Great. The story is not much different. You see, when the smartphone evolution came up into the place, there were two components. One is obviously the devices, a switch from hard keys to a software-based movement. And then there was the other side of it, which was after 2010, 2011, which was the apps. And that was one of the trigger points for the company, because having a marketplace matters a lot. Because phones, when you sell, there are only two ways there is a profits that can be earned. One is sell of the phone and repairs. But there was this third piece which was critically important, which was marketplace, because that brought up the important revolution, which was app development. Because if you could develop an app, there had to be one way by which you could publish it as well. So that's where Google came in place, Apple came in place, and marketed this marketplace. And now if you see 2015, most of the information that we produce, we have the ads coming up. We have other, friction that happens on the phone. The purpose of using a phone is completely different. But then if you're not a premium user, you get flagged with, the advertisement, which I'm sure most of you hate. How many of you love ads? You play nice games and you have ads in between.
Just joined I.I.M.U.N. like 3 months ago as a volunteer, and this is my first event that I'm hosting along with my team, of course. And I've always, so I started doing I.I.M.U.N. as a delegate 3 years ago, and it was always something I looked forward to every single year, because at an I.I.M.U.N. you get to meet so many people, you get to meet POs, presiding officers, you get to meet the team who are from different parts of the country, and they all come together and work together for just one organization.
So all we aim at I.I.M.U.N. is actually youth-led organization, because we are widely known to be the largest youth-led organization. All we aim by this one I.I.M.U.N. Goa conference, or by the other 220 conferences that we do in 220 cities and 35 plus countries, all we aim is to bring the society together by a mock UN debate conferences that we do, where delegates, where students from 6th grader to 12th grader come together and they discuss on national and international issues. Because one of our pillar is global citizen, where we actually say that actual global citizens, if we don't think about our local culture and our culture as nationally, because I say this one thing, that it's not a Nehru jacket or a Modi jacket, but it's an Indian jacket. And I truly believe in that, and that is why I feel that it's more than just specifically a Goa conference, it's more something uniting us as a soft power. So yeah, that is what I guess we aim at, that everything it's about is India's international movement to unite nations for the youth, by the youth.
Okay, Reva, can you tell us a little bit about your experience as a participant here at I.I.M.U.N. Goa?
This is my second time coming to I.I.M.U.N. Goa to Goa school, and my experience has been great because I learned a lot of new things. My basic goal is like to increase my speaking skills and become better in that. Yeah.
So as a chair especially, I've been working with I.I.M.U.N. for a long time. I've been chairing the Goa365 School I.I.M.U.N. Goa conference for the last 3 years now. And what really motivates me is just being able to guide children in learning and in helping them put one step forward at a time in learning about concepts that may not be familiar to them. And that really brings me joy, especially in the guidance aspect.
So, my name is Mufaddal. I serve as an assistant director in this beautiful organization, which is India's International Movement to United Nations. And we are a non-profit youth and organization, and we host conferences across 220 cities in 35 countries. This is our third edition that we have come down to the I.I.M.U.N. Goa conference, where the top schools across from Goa are coming down and debating on national and international issues.
I.I.M.U.N. is a very structured and an organized event, and it's really impressive to see the youth organizing an event at this level where they are able to gather children, teenagers, and put them under one platform to discuss topics that matter today. It not only encourages general awareness, it also imbues them with a responsibility that they are that the responsibility is theirs. They should be part of the solution and take it up on themselves to think through these different committees and topics and agendas that are being discussed here.